playing this out. So this is what we share.
Thank you. So it is about having the right kind of investors coming in at the right stages who can bring in the value that you have, that you possess, to help the startup. So because we see, these days we see many of the young entrepreneurs coming in, and the first thing that they will want to go to is to the funders. They want to get capital, raise capitals first. Then you would have the whole understanding of business models. I'd like to draw back to that point again. So if investors are comfortable with certain type of business models, wouldn't that drive entrepreneurs to come in with something that works, but eventually saturate the market, right? Now, what kind of role will then investors play in order for you to appreciate new business models or new ideas? Because that's something that you probably have to take the risk on, right? Building great businesses, disruptive businesses require a different kind of mindset, not just from entrepreneurs' perspective, but also investors. Now, how do you do that in terms of, angels, and then we'll come to VC and we'll talk about the incubators. Can you address that?
Yes, it's a good question. So, from my point of view, the business model is not just about the numbers, but it's also about the uniqueness of the business model. Because having the same business model as somebody else is not enough. Actually, it's not the whole picture. Because if you can create a business model the same as somebody else, then there's nothing to stop somebody else somewhere else coming along and doing the same thing. There needs to be something unique about the business model that I'm looking at. And there needs to be perhaps some kind of barrier of entry to prevent other people coming along and copying exactly what you've done. Maybe it's a simple barrier like it will take 3 years for them to reach this point. In some cases it's a time barrier. In some cases it can be perhaps a regulatory barrier, it could be a knowledge barrier, or it could be several other types of barrier. There has to be something that makes this business plan unique and protected to some extent for some period of time. So in terms of the business model, I'm looking for that, something unique and something that I've perhaps actually not seen before, but makes sense to me. I don't think it has to be, for someone to explain a business model, it doesn't have to be something that I know about and have seen before. It can be something that I've never seen before, and a unique idea but is still explainable and understandable and has some degree of credibility sitting behind the numbers and behind the business itself. So it can't be totally out in outer space with some kind of crazy idea. It has to be grounded and based on real reality and real possibilities or real things that I can also see, and that the entrepreneur really has to be able to explain that and show that's something that we can pick up on as an angel investor and say, okay, this is believable, it's real, and there's potential here for something to invest in and take forward.
I think that's very crucial, the role of an angel, because it comes from an early stage. The role of an angel who really understands that business models should be something that's quite experimental, yet making sense. An understanding of the industry, because that will spark that kind of greater businesses. It starts from the early stages. What about your thoughts, Victor?
I have a bit of difficulty in answering that question because we generally do not flock into sectors where there's been too much money that is invested. For example, e-commerce. It is, eventually cost is going to rise up. Your customer acquisition costs, all these metrics will go up as there are more and more players in the market. So if you look at how e-commerce as an industry has developed, it went on generic e-commerce that sells basically everything, and then it went into vertical basics, meaning like I sell lady stuff, I sell guy stuff, or I sell pet stuff. So the industry has continuously been evolving because of the fact that the cost structure and everything has changed. And given that, we typically look at companies by looking at whether they have an unfair advantage or not. We focus really on the fundamentals. We focus on each of the process flows, on how it goes. That's where our role comes. That's how we play our role.
So it's not just about business models, but ability to also predict that kind of industry shift, or even how the market evolve? Is that what you're saying?
In a way, I mean, startups, you are taking a risk on the future. I mean, so you're trying to predict what's going to be the next big thing. If you're just going to do something that has been done and something that has been overheated, it makes no sense, because everything, your cost, your price, the price that you have to pay is already very high. So if you're going to do that, you have to raise more and more money, and you're just going to be like a drug addict, continuously going to raise money from VCs, from investors, and I personally think that's not a healthy thing for the ecosystem.
Okay, interesting. So, Jermaine, I'd like to probably tweak the question a little bit, right? So, there's always these two school of thoughts, right? So, you either build businesses to exit, or you build businesses to last. And let's not talk to the investors, because they all want to exit. So you're in the middle, right? So you're building businesses and you're going to be interfacing with them. How do you put on that balance? Do you build business to last, or do you build business to exit?
That's a very interesting question, right? So do you build to last, or you build to make money? Okay, so if the company doesn't last, how to make money? So it's very simple logic, right? So if, let's say, you build to last, then you're able to have the exit strategy for everyone that's on board, that supported you right from the beginning until forever and ever, depending on how long you want your business to go on to. We have like 100 over years businesses still around in the world. So it depends on what the investors set out to be. So this journey, for us, we are incubators. We are entrepreneurs ourselves. So I myself have I started a few businesses in Singapore, and I come back to Malaysia after 20 years. So I failed before, and then I've started my business before, and I sold my business before. So we have gone through the journey. So like Timothy himself has shared his journey earlier just now in the other room. So we have gone through the journey. We know what makes a successful business person, and what kind of companies and what kind of business model that will work for a certain industry. If, let's say, I have my niche in beauty, I have my niche in space remodeling industry. So that's the, because all the startups has to have this startup business. For the first time, it's a simple business model. Business model is only be creative and have the ability to be more, I would say, generate a lot of value is when the company really grows to a certain stage. But as a startup, the business model has to be very straightforward and easy to let everyone know what you are doing and how you make money. So it's just simple business model to do. You don't have to think until too creative that your competitors just wipe you over. So that's why for a startup, it's a simple business model. So as your company grow, then you re-engineer your business model to make more sense, and people will not understand how you make money, because you will know how you make money in your industry if you are really that good.
Okay, thank you. So if there's any questions from the floor, we have one already. Okay, please. There's a mic just right behind you.
Hi, I'm Siti Kamaria. My question is that the two things, I think what's not covered in the discussion is that a big part of startups is the level of failures that you have to go through to get there and to be a successful startup. And what that actually is made up of is thousands of iterations, hundreds and thousands, before you actually get there. And I find that when funders come to you, they have this idea in mind that you contribute to their annual reports and they only want to see you success. And I don't think that many funders actually can imagine losing their money, obviously. And so my question to you is that what contributes to the resilience of startups, and what are some of your words of advice, and how do you fail gracefully and move on and do better next time? Thank you.
You would like to pick up on that, Timothy? You'd like to go first?
I don't mind picking up on that, yeah. Firstly, I don't think there's any way to fail gracefully. I think it's
Will you fail with them?
Yeah, it's usually a crash and burn type scenario of some sort, if it's going to be a failure. But I mean, having said that, I don't see there are many that are complete failure. There are some that kind of break even, and there are, you know, maybe most are in that level. They break even. Some are crash and burn, and some are what they call unicorn and do very, very well. So it's always a mix, and as an investor, it's always good to have a portfolio of investments so that you're hedging your bets, you're mitigating your risk. But coming back to the failure, for me as an angel, I've also been an entrepreneur, and I've also succeeded and failed. And I think you learn just as much from the failures as you do from the successes. And when I talk to startup companies, I'm also looking for that failure experience. Obviously, as an investor, I say, yeah, you must succeed. You must come out on top. But I don't want you to be my failure, so to speak. I want you to have had your failures somewhere else, which is maybe a bit of a strange thing to say. But I think entrepreneur can
That's
learn.
very strange.
Yeah. But entrepreneur can learn so much from that experience, having tried and failed, tried and succeed, tried and fail. And we talk a bit about this offline, and partly it comes back to culture. When I was in the US, this concept of failure is very accepted. In fact, people look for it. They look for people that have tried and failed, but tried again. That's the most important thing, is you try, you fail, fine, but try again. The people that try and then fail and then don't try again, those are the ones that are, to me, bad risk, because that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that have got bruises, that have got cuts, and have learned from that and grown from that experience. Because then I think it's a much less risky opportunity for me.
So if I were to pick up from your point, Timothy, very lightly, get to know as many angels as you can, because you fail with one and go on to another. Try it out. You probably have something to say, Jermaine.
The next time when we first ask, have you failed before, rather than what are your successful?
You wanted to add, Jermaine, to that question just now?
I think that is a very interesting question in the sense that, because I was an ACC graduate, and I was from a corporate recovery background, so I deal with companies that go winding up, that strike off, that go into interim judicial management. All those companies are going to fail soon, or they have failed. So what I've seen, there are some of those I would say entrepreneurs. They are already quite established in their industry, but they still fail. But they learn from the failures. They really learn and pick themselves up, because they went through this whole process. We went through winding up. Starting up is very fast, but winding up is actually a very long time. This is 5 to 6 years to wind up a company. So the journey is actually very long. So to be able to go through the process again, I've seen entrepreneurs that fall down and stand up again and become much better of entrepreneurs of bigger businesses before. So that's why that is a very good question that you asked me. So what makes them, they become better, they learn from the mistake. They must be able to admit and to let go what is so bad about themselves that made it, but they stand up again, they come back up again. So that's the price of it, the beauty part of it.
Okay, any other question? Yes, please.
The question addressed to Timothy. So as an angel investor yourself, how do you actually hedge your whole portfolio, your angel investment portfolio? That's question number one. And number two, how do you actually exit your position? At which stage do you exit your position for your angel investment?
The first one was how do I hedge? I think it's important for me to have a diverse set of investments. A minimum of maybe 10 startups that I'll be looking at. Either as a lone wolf model, you can do it that way, or probably a better way is to be part of an angel investment club. An angel investment club, very often you have 10, 15, 20 investments that are spread amongst a group of individuals doing angel investment. And not just the investment is spread, the money is spread, but also the knowledge and expertise available within that pool of angels is much better. myself, I'm from a technology background, so I can add a lot of value in the technology space. But maybe the entrepreneur needs advice from a financial perspective, or from a legal perspective, or from some other type of perspective. So being part of an angel club is one way to spread that risk around. Yeah, so those are the two aspects I would say. Sorry, your second question was?
At which stage do you exit your position, and typically how do you exit them?
For Malaysia, I'm yet to do an exit. I've not been involved in angel investing here in Malaysia for very long. But the usual way is through, from my perspective, is a trade sale to a bigger company. It's actually more common than the IPO type model. I mean, the IPOs are the ones that get the publicity and get a lot of hype, but there's a lot more going on in terms of sales to other large corporates. And this is maybe one of the aspects in Malaysia. I just saw a glimpse of the previous presentation about corporates, and to me, maybe this is a role that corporates in Malaysia need to think about more, rather than being funders of startups. Their role could be more and more powerful when it comes to buyouts of startups. You know, after an angel and a VC grow the company for 3 to 5 years, and that's
looking at a model of corporate investment, maybe
corporate buyout of a startup. You know, once it's been funded for a few years, it's grown to a certain point, and then a corporate will absorb that into their business as something that becomes a new division of a bank or a new division of a telco. Something like this, I think, is a much more viable route actually for corporates to get involved in the startup ecosystem.
Any other questions from the floor? Yes, please. You can have one.
Hello, hi. My name is Faisal. So I have a question about your risk appetite in terms of investment towards startup. Okay, so if you define startup as monopoly startup versus competition startup, if you base on 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, right? So how do you adjust your, because you are VC, angel, and also incubator, right? So I think it's the best panel that I can ask. But how do you average out? How do you distribute your risk in terms of getting the monopoly type of startup versus competitive type of startup? Thanks.
Very good question.
Go ahead,
Victor, probably you first.
That's a very interesting question. So in terms of monopoly startup versus competitive startups, if you ask any risk-averse investors, they probably would shy away from the competitive ones. Like I mentioned, for any sector that has already been too many players out there, we probably have a lower weightage for that kind of sectors because it's been done and the upside, what we call alpha, is very limited. That's why we tend to look at unfair advantage, which leads us to the other spectrum, the monopoly startups. So our role is really to help our investors who invest in us. Yeah. So kind of like an inception thingy, but anyways. So we help our investors look for startups or companies that has a very strong unfair advantage, which is why our weightage is definitely going to be like biased towards the monopoly startups. But having said that, because we are portfolio managers, we are fund managers who are looking at a group of companies. Any startup that has an angle that fits into our portfolio makes sense as well. Which is why I think it's a very interesting yet difficult to answer question, because chances are we might be investing into a particular company, a particular sector, even though there are tons of competitions out there, simply because we think that they are a good piece to a big puzzle that we're trying to build as a portfolio. So yeah, that's my answer. More biased towards monopoly startups, but definitely it depends on whether it fits to a portfolio.
Yeah, so I'd love for all the panelists to actually answer that question, but we probably have to take up with them outside because we've run out of time. But to close, yeah, I know it's a very interesting conversation. We'd love to go on, but to close the panel session. So I'd like to summarize by probably coming up with a WIEF IDLAT 2016 survival guide for entrepreneurs to seek investment. So probably one very important point each for the survival guide in a minute or less. Victor, you first.
I think it's going to be very short. Try to build a business that doesn't require funding. If your business is good enough, VCs or investors will come look for you. It's not one-way street, it's two-way street.
Very good. So don't look for him, go make the money first, then he will look for you. Timothy, yours.
Also very quick, I think we've covered a lot of things, but I think something we covered outside the room as well was it's a two-way street, right? It's not just about angel investor investing in you. You are also looking for the right angel. So think about that as well. You know, when you are talking to angels, ask a few questions. You know, how can the angel help your business to progress? Not just financially, but with their connections, their network, their people. So spend a bit of time thinking about that. Make a smart choice when it comes to looking for the right angel that can add value to your business beyond the money.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Going back to basics, business is all about creating your revenue, making sure that business is sustainable, and it's not just about making that kind of first investment or raising that first fund, right? So be sure to check out the portfolios of the people that you're talking with, you know, that kind of the experience that they have, where they are, and what can they bring for you. So probably do some kind of checking too. Jermaine, your last point.
Because as an incubator, we also have a lot of startups in our ecosystem. So that's why it's still a two-way we look at it. So we aren't able to say whether we want to have which startup that we invest in, other than the basic fundamental has to be there, the business has to make sense, the dollars and cents. So other than that, will still be the founders that we invest in. So what do they really want? So our program will have a series of serious checklists to really identify and unearth and discover the gem of every startup founders.
Alright, and we talked about this earlier just now, you know, whether it's there's a fine line between ego and confidence. So this is something that entrepreneurs will also have to take up with them later outside. Alright, so we have to end this. Thank you very much to our very interesting panelists. Thank you very much for Idea Lab for having us here today.
Alright, so I'd like to invite the speakers and moderator to take a photo on stage.
Sir, a bit right. Okay, nice. Okay, camera.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you once again to our speakers and moderator. So right now we break off to lunch. For those who have lunch, it's provided at the Manhattan Hall. So it's just right down there onto your right. So